Imagine you're living 2,000 years ago. Your sun is hundreds of miles away. A war has started. You need to warn him immediately. But there's a problem. No phones, no internet, no electricity, no roads fast enough. No way to send a message before it's too late. Today, sending a message across the world takes seconds. For most of human history, it could take weeks, sometimes months, and sometimes the message arrived too late. Entire armies were destroyed because information moved slower than people. Kings lost kingdoms, merchants lost fortunes, families waited for news that never came. Communication was one of humanity's biggest problems, and somehow the solution came from a bird. Not an eagle, not a hawk, not a raven, a pigeon. The same bird many people ignore while walking down the street today, which raises a strange question. How did one of the most ordinary birds on Earth become humanity's messenger? To understand that, we need to go back thousands of years, long before smartphones, long before mail services, long before civilization looked anything like it does today, because pigeons possess a superpower that seems almost impossible. They can find their way home, no matter where you take them. Imagine catching a pigeon, putting it in a basket, carrying it 100 miles away, then releasing it. The pigeon doesn't hesitate. It doesn't wander. It doesn't explore. It simply turns and flies home. For thousands of years, humans watched this happen and couldn't understand it. How was the bird doing it? There were no maps, no signs, no GPS. And yet somehow, pigeons consistently returned to the exact place they came from. Even today, scientists are still trying to fully understand how they navigate. Some evidence suggests they use the sun. Others point to landmarks. Some researchers believe pigeons can actually sense Earth's magnetic field, almost like they carry a built-in compass inside their heads. The truth may be a combination of all these things, but ancient humans didn't need to understand the science. They only needed to notice the pattern. The bird always came back, and eventually, someone had a brilliant idea. What if the bird carried a message? That simple observation changed history. Instead of sending a person across dangerous landscapes, you could send a pigeon. A small note could be tied to its leg. Then the bird would do what it always wanted to do anyway. Go home. Suddenly information could travel faster than ever before. And once humans discovered this trick, they used it everywhere. Ancient civilizations across the Middle East, Europe, Asia, and North Africa all relied on messenger pigeons. Traders used them, governments used them, military leaders used them. Entire communication networks were built around them. For the first time in history, information could move independently of human travel. And information is power. Imagine commanding an army without knowing where your soldiers are. Imagine ruling a kingdom while receiving news months late. A pigeon could change everything. A single message arriving one day earlier might save thousands of lives. A warning arriving in time could prevent disaster. A military victory could depend entirely on a bird reaching home. And pigeons became so valuable that people began breeding them specifically for their navigation abilities. Generation after generation, the birds became even better, faster, more reliable, more connected to human society. But their most important role was still ahead, because the age of pigeons didn't end when civilization advanced. It actually became even more important. Fast forward to the 1800s. The world was changing rapidly. Railways stretched across continents. Cities expanded. Industry exploded. But communication was still painfully slow. Then came an unexpected partnership. News organizations began using pigeons. Before telegraph lines connected certain regions, Pigeons carried information between cities. Financial markets depended on them. Breaking news depended on them. In some places, pigeons delivered information faster than any human system available. Think about that. For a period of history, one of humanity's most advanced communication technologies had feathers, but the pigeon's greatest test came during war, when bullets were flying, when cities burned, when entire nations fought for survival. Messenger pigeons became heroes, not metaphorically, literally. During both world wars, thousands of pigeons carried critical military messages. Radio communication could fail, wires could be cut, equipment could be destroyed, but a pigeon could still fly. One famous pigeon named Sher Ami delivered a message that helped save nearly 200 soldiers during World War I. Despite being shot, despite losing part of a leg, despite suffering severe injuries, the bird kept flying until the message was delivered. Those soldiers survived because a pigeon refused to stop. It's difficult to imagine today, but for much of human history, some of the most important messages on Earth traveled beneath a bird's wing. Births, deaths, military orders, business deals, news of victory, news of disaster, love letters, goodbyes, hope, fear, entire human lives compressed into tiny pieces of paper and carried through the sky. Eventually, new technologies arrived: the telegraph, the telephone, radio, the internet. For the first time, humans no longer needed pigeons to connect distant places. The age of messenger birds slowly came to an end. The heroes of communication became ordinary city birds. Today, most people barely notice them. They sit on rooftops, walk through parks, search for crumbs on sidewalks. Many people see them as pests, but every pigeon carries a remarkable history, because hidden inside that ordinary bird is one of humanity's oldest partnerships. For thousands of years, before satellites orbited Earth, before fiber optic cables crossed oceans, before smartphones fit inside our pockets, pigeons connected the world. And maybe that's the strangest part of all. Human civilization was built by kings, inventors, explorers, farmers, soldiers. But sometimes history changes because of something much smaller. A bird that only wanted to go home, and in doing so, helped humanity find its way to each other. For thousands of years, our fastest messages didn't travel through wires. They traveled through wings. And before the internet connected the world, a pigeon already had.